Hey everyone, and welcome to a simple but effective daily ankle spasticity stretching routine. I'm going to be walking you through 2 sets of 5 ankle spasticity stretches. This video is going to be best for survivors who are able to self-stretch. Now you may also be wondering, why, Elise, do you have these crazy pieces of bright tape on your pants? Well, you all have given me some great feedback to mark the affected leg, my affected leg in these videos. So I am marking this leg as my affected leg. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to get into our first stretch. So grab out your water bottle or whatever else you have. You're going to drop that on the floor. And we're going to go into some foot rolls. Foot's going to go on top of the water bottle or whatever else you're using. You're going to roll it forward under your heel and then back so that it's up under the ball of your foot, and then you're going to hold there for just a minute. This is a really good stretch and exercise to kind of get your ankle woken up and ready for the rest of these stretches. So let's go ahead and roll it forward again. Now I'm going to be having 60 seconds on the clock for each of these stretches, but I just want you to go at your own pace. Everyone is kind of starting in a different place. So for some of these, you may not be able to hold them as long as I am. Do what's right for you, and of course, never push through pain. All right, let's move into our second stretch, which is going to be a heel cord stretch. So this is where your gait belt, your bed sheet, whatever you're using is going to come in handy. Now there are 2 positions for this. You can do this sitting upright like I am and slide the belt, the bed sheet, whatever, underneath your affected foot, under the ball of your foot. Now I like a gait belt because it's easier to use one-handed. So if your affected hand is still giving you trouble, you don't need anything else. Now I like to stretch out the knee just a little bit, and then you're pulling your foot back to stretch your calf muscles, the muscles that are on the back of your affected leg. Now, if you need to, you can also get into a long sitting position and stretch this way as well. Just do whatever is going to be safer and more comfortable for you. Let's go ahead and move into our third stretch, which is going to be standing calf stretches. Now, I have got a chair on wheels today, but I don't particularly recommend this. Use something that's sturdy and stable. This is just what I had in my office, so that's what I'm using. Your affected foot is going to come forward, and we're going to try to get that ankle bent just slightly so that your toes are up. And then you're going to gently lean into that stretch so that you're coming over the top of your foot and feeling a nice stretch through the back of your leg. Now, why are we stretching our calf muscles? The gastrocnemius, soleus, posterior tibialis are the muscles that help to bend the toes down, and those are the muscles that are typically affected by spasticity in the lower leg. Real quick before I finish that explanation, let's swap sides. Same position, but affected leg is coming back. Slight bend in your unaffected leg, which is forward. And then you're just gently going to come back up and over your affected leg, shifting your weight back onto that leg, feeling a stretch on the back. So like I was saying, the muscles that are in our calf, the back of our lower leg, are the ones that also typically become spastic after a stroke. And so because they point the toe down, they're constantly trying to point the toe down, right? And it's hard for the muscles that dorsiflex or bring the toes up to fight against that. So we have to gently try to stretch out those spastic muscles and get them to relax. Let's go into our last stretch, which is going to be some very gentle weight bearing. Feet are going to come hip width apart, widen our base of support here to give us better safety while we're balancing and standing. Have something to hang on to. And then what you're going to do is gently start weight bearing onto your affected foot. Should be feeling weight go down all the way through to your foot. Make sure that you're breathing during this. Big deep breath in and out. And the reason that we're holding these stretches for longer periods of time, because spasticity, the way that it works, it's what we call velocity dependent, meaning that the symptoms of it, that tightness, gets worse with quick movement. So we have to slowly stretch to reduce that spastic contraction. Let's go back into our first stretch, which were the foot rolls. So we're gonna sort of do a little bit more prep work here. Water bottles going under the foot. Gonna roll so that it comes under the heel, and then try to pull it back so that it gets up and under the ball of your foot, and you're gonna hold there. Now, as I mentioned, I have 60 seconds on the clock for each of these stretches, but you don't have to hold it for that complete amount of time. Do what feels right to you. Don't push through pain. And remember, we're going slowly through all of these. We want to give our muscles time to relax and counteract that spasticity contraction. Let's move into our second set of the second stretch. So we're going to go into the heel cord stretch. So I'm going to get into this position, a long sitting position to show you again. And I'm going to just pop that gait belt up and around the ball of my foot. And I'm gonna gently pull back so that my toes are pointing up. I really like this stretch, it feels really good. Now here's the thing, if you're fighting spasticity, your foot may be starting here and you might only be able to get up to here. As you slowly stretch, what you might feel is that muscle give a little bit, and then give a little bit more, and a little more, and a little more until you're able to pull back. That's why we do this prolonged stretching instead of just doing, okay, let's stretch 2 to 3 seconds and then relax. We want to try for at least 15 seconds, if not longer than that. All right, let's move into our third stretch again, which is going to be standing calf stretches. So we're going to grab our chair for that. Affected leg is gonna come forward. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but if you need to do this up against a wall, have your toes kind of pointed up on the wall, you can. If you have a wedge that has like a 45-degree angle, you can use that too. And you can even use that while you're sitting down if that's a little easier for you to do. All of these stretches have modifications so that you are met wherever you're starting out. I'm gonna lean into this a little bit more to get even more of a stretch on the back of my leg. Taking a deep breath in and out. Good. All right, let's swap our legs here. Unaffected leg is coming forward, slight bend. Affected leg is coming back. And then just weight shifting back there, trying to get a little bit of a stretch back through your calf muscles. And hopefully, like I said before, you're feeling progressive relaxing of those muscles that are affected by spasticity. And what's nice too is after a stretching routine, you can even try to go into some different exercises, functional activities, practice your walking. These are a really good preparatory way to go into other things, different exercises or activities. Let's go into our last stretch here, which is just gonna be our simple weight bearing. We're just standing. We're standing up, holding onto a surface if you need the support. Again, feet are about hip width apart, just to be safe. And then we're gonna weight shift over onto affected side and just hold there. Feeling your weight go all the way down from your hips, through your knees, down through your heel and the ball of your foot. Really pay attention to that. Give yourself a little bit of a break, and then let's come back over onto your affected side. This is good too. You can do this. You don't just have to do this with this exercise video. If you're standing at your bathroom counter to get ready in the morning, if you're standing at the kitchen sink trying to wash dishes or making a meal or whatever you're doing, this is something that you can even practice just during those daily activities. So let's go ahead and rest there. I want to thank you all so much for coming along with me on the stretching routine today. As always, I am going to leave a link down in the description below if you would like to sign up for the email list, which gets you free stroke recovery tips and motivational emails, as well as a free copy of my ebook, The Stroke Recovery Pocket Guide. And if you find value in what we do here at Post Stroke and you're able, please consider donating. We have both a PayPal where you can make either a one-time or monthly recurring donation, but you can also become a Patreon member of Post Stroke. And that gets you cool perks like social media shout outs, behind the scenes footage, and monthly Q&A videos. So consider that. Links are down in the description below. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.